Hi everyone. Myself Arjun. I'm founder and CEO of a company called Videosdk. Today's session is about unlocking the next channel of engagement, specifically voice AI within the WhatsApp. I'll give you basic understanding and the context before maybe jumping to the workshop how to build it. So how many of you are using WhatsApp as a you know primary channel for your businesses? If you can maybe just raise hand. Perfect, great. So you might have faced this problem, like a message that went nowhere. Typically customer might have pinged you on your business account, and you have replied, but it took you a little bit more than that to reply, or maybe you just replied with the text and the lead has completely gone, right? And there is no web back. For example, let's say Isa is adding something into the cart. It is and on the WhatsApp, and it gets silence. One of the major problem over here is that typically any channel or any communication, if you see, like it's largely lesser of a transitional but more of a loop, right? So whenever you start some kind of engagement, it goes from one action to from the other side, the other action, and then it goes on and it goes on and generally gets towards to your conversation specifically. Apart from that, specifically, while buying on the WhatsApp, right? Yeah, if you see, whenever you're buying offline, right? Let's take an example that I wanted to buy a cloth or a mobile, right? I'll typically keep someone with me as a companion, right? So, for example, how many of you might have bought cloth on Diwali? Most of you might have, right? Most probably, right? It's not an individual buy. You're either going with the family, or you're going with your partner, or someone as a friend specifically, right? On a larger extent. And there are fundamental reasons about it. One of the major reason is that you wanted to compare something as a with something to B, right? And you wanted to make sure that what is the best choice for me look like. The second reason is like more of a clarity, right? So let's say before trying any new product or buying something, you wanted to make sure that you have better clarity about the product, right? So if you're buying a mobile, you'll check for camera configuration, to what is the CPU, what is the GPU utilization, or all bunch of standard things look like. And you just wanted to make sure that it gets engaged, and then you make a decision, right? So again, any offline sales, right? Typically, WhatsApp, you're using, let's take an example, as a business channel. Considering a virtual WhatsApp channel to your offline channel of sales, right? The major difference in between is that any offline channel is a loop. You are trying to buy something, there is an intent. You try to gain the knowledge from the organization or the right person. You tend to have as much as detail possible, and then you make a decision, right? Along the way, at the same time, one of the major fundamental is you also need a second validation, right? A companionship to buy something, right? So this is how the journey look like. Now, considering the same journey with the text in WhatsApp, right? One of the fundamental problem is not a loop; it's a transactional a discussion going on, right? You someone throws something, and then there's a reply, and it's a largely a transactional reply to and fro going on. Now, specifically because of this, WhatsApp is having that missing layer of engagement. There's no way to complete the loop. Number one. Number two, it is not. In India specifically, WhatsApp do have almost 500 kind of million users, right, on a larger extent to utilize the platform. While India, 68% of people in India utilize WhatsApp via voice. So they typically, keep the mobile, click on the voice button and send the voice message. right? Literally not using text as a functionality at all on a larger extent, which is very natural to my mom and dad, to also a new generation of kids, right? While we are the only one, yes, still doing the text, more or less. Now, the problem with this is more. I mean, WhatsApp misses the major channel. I mean, it gives you reply. It has the text channel, but one of the major channel missing in the WhatsApp is your communication channel, right? Your voice channel, to have that either a companionship or a product expertise. Apart from that, you typically, remember a brand where your experience of a conversation with someone is very fulfilled and you bought something. So imagine you're going out there and buying a Nike shoes, right? Typically, you'll go out there, you'll try multiple things, you'll have some engagement with that guy, you'll ask your friend to also have some opinion, and then you'll make a decision. Now, the whole experience of that conversation and the nuances to it is, that's why you remember the brand on a larger extent, which is largely missing within the WhatsApp ecosystem at the moment. What WhatsApp did very recently is that they have allowed businesses to open a voice calling API, right? So now anyone can do a call on a business account within the WhatsApp itself. So you can call any brand, click that button, and have a conversation. At the same time, a brand can talk to you on behalf of a specific organization, right? So this been unlocked in June specifically, right? While this has given us an opportunity to also utilize it as a central channel of a voice engagement, right? So traditionally, you have your PSTN line, that number starts with 80 or 14, right? Which typically people does not pick on a larger extent, and right, and then there is an engagement going on, and whenever someone sees that number, they feel that there is a sales guy trying to sell something, and you talk for a minute and then you close it, right? Which does not give you a brand voice and the trust that you seek. Now, at the same time, one of the major thing WhatsApp did very recently is that it has opened this channel for developers to build voice AI agents on top of it, right? So now this works like your telco, Geo, or Airtel of the world, but now this is internet first, right? You don't need any kind of numbers or bunch of other things to buy or a software. In this cases, a voice agent can reside within your WhatsApp channel. I mean, and your customer does not need to go outside. One of the major advantage over here is that you have one single thread, but you can have two modes. Whenever you wanted to chat, you can chat, but at the same time, you can talk to a brand, right? And it goes into the loop of the conversation. The second thing is that this gives you a verified voice of a brand, right? What Satvik did, and in the last session is like he cloned his voice, right? So now that board basically represents him, right? So if I'm a founder of a D2C brand, right, let's take an example, and I replicate my own voice to the WhatsApp channel, it creates a lot of value on a larger extent to giving a voice to a brand and increase the engagement of the user typically, to make sure that they are able to understand better. The third is that it is a zero friction channel, which means that customer does not need to leave WhatsApp. Right. So, which typically, if you're calling a customer, right, which happens a lot, I mean, you're asking for a OTP on a WhatsApp to someone. They're on the call with you. They'll open a WhatsApp. They'll do something, and then things happens in the behind the scene. Now, this channel is native to WhatsApp, so which means that at any point of time, right, customer can have a direct engagement within the WhatsApp itself, right? And apart from that, one of the major advantages, because this is a internet first channel, so there is no telco in between. So typical regulatory is largely, or governance is largely handled by Meta itself. Considering this fact, right, on a larger extent, if you see, uh, as per the major benchmark in the industry, if if a customer is getting a reply or an engagement within a minute of a query, right, there are very higher chances of getting it closed or buying it. Now, the second thing, as for the offline, right, matrices, is customer is coming in any shop, right, and they have intent to buy XYZ specifically in those cases, and if someone directs them to XYZ within that particular shop, the intent of buy or intent of conversation goes up to 30 to 35%, right? So I, again, taking an example, I'm finding a blue shirt or a white shirt for a occasion. I get to a Raymond shop, and then, I ask, I need a white shirt. Where can I get? Someone directs me. I get to exit point. I figure out 5 to 6 shirts, and the probability of a convert becomes really, really high, more or less. So with the same thing, right? I mean, what WhatsApp has enabled now is that with the messaging reach, you can also have now voice outcomes, right? So now, so far, you are just able to reach to your customer with the channel, right? But now you can also control the outcome of that particular reach, right? What they are exactly wanted to do. So on a larger extent, so far, I mean, you're going to any website, right? I mean, if you see the journey of building website, why we have built the website on a larger extent, one of the fundamental reason is that we don't wanted to talk to each of the customer because of the limitation of the tech, I mean, bandwidth behind the scene of the people, that I can, if I want to talk to 1,000 people, I need 1,000 people at the same time to do so, right? While internet has been started with the text channel and the website, but gradually the voice is becoming the primary interface, across the globe on a larger extent to overcome these challenges. Now, building this, right, one of the major thing one can implement with this particular channel is whenever you receive an initial contact message, you can now detect a particular intent, that what they wanted to do, right, and why they are on the platform at the moment. With this, you can orchestrate a voice AI agent or a companion behind the scene, which basically have all the understanding of this particular intent and the understanding of what kind of product you are selling to. Now, this companion helps customer to not just reach, but I mean, make sure that they reach to the outcome that they are intended to, right? Again, taking the same example, I've gone to a Raymond shop. Instead of that, I've gone to a WhatsApp channel of Raymond, and I say, like, I want a white shirt, right, for the next occasion. I mean, suggest me something. Now, if there is a voice companion, right, showcasing me this particular 5 to 6 shirts on the WhatsApp itself on a larger extent, I have a different kind of engagement with the brand itself. I can now go to and fro and see that is it stretchable shirt or not? What is the product description look like? What are the sizes available? What are the different kind of things there, right? Which typically we do while going offline and more or less engaging with a particular brand on a larger extent. With the same, it summarized the call, and the good thing about this is with the same conversation, right? So far, you had just couple of messages to understand the intent of your customer, and now you have a whole 10 minute of conversation to understand the behavior on a larger extent and the broader intent why customers been came to the platform and what it wanted to accomplish at the same time, right? This basically gives you more and more understanding of the behavior and the segment of the customers that you are tracking and targeting at the same time. And the good news is that with this all data, you can create a loop, right? With this summarization, you have understanding like what the expectation look like, and whenever you are able to fulfill that expectation next time, you can initiate the conversation. So I've again come to buy the shirt, but the problem is size is not available. So with this, I do have understanding that if the size is not available and size is available next time, I can again create a loop sending a message to the customer saying that this is available now, right? This broadly makes sure that you have enough understanding of a conversational data within the channel itself instead of a just text of the message, and which is comparatively a very rich communication where you have understanding of intent, emotion, and all largest set of uh, expectations. Now, how can you give a voice to your brand, right? One more important thing is giving a tone, giving a personality to this particular companion. If it is a very professional brand, in those cases, the personality needs to be very professional. If it is a funky brand, in that cases, it needs to be very funky, and those needs to be taken care. At the same time, it has to be multilingual to solve the problem across the India. If I'm talking in Gujarati, Marathi, Telugu, Kannada, in those cases, it needs to cater those nuances to accomplish the outcome. At the same time, because this is a channel where I'm doing the campaigning, I need to measure all the data. I need to have understanding of just not numbers of top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, but I also need to data of intent. Was it a neutral? Was it a positive? What is a negative intent? Right? What was the topic of the conversation? So, which basically a deep down version of what kind of analytics you need, and then the reflection out of it. A typical use cases of this particular technology would be, let's take an example, sales, recovering a cart. So anyone edits something in a cart, right? uh, uh, Typically, and uh, you you now don't have that product in stock, but next time whenever it is on the stock, you can engage and create a loop, right, and initiate that conversation. Second would be a support. Any complicated issue which typically goes to your contact center line can directly be resolved now within the WhatsApp channel. Anything which is a verification, so you wanted to do a KYC of the customer or any merchant, in those cases this channel can be utilized to do the verification. At the same time, doing the collection, right? If the order basically been sent, collecting the money and making sure that the transaction has been done in the best possible way, and customers are not facing any issues while doing the payment, is one of the major use case. I'll show you a video, right, which basically explains within the WhatsApp of the channel what are the capabilities look like and how the implementation can be done.
Hello, I am your virtual assistant. How can I help you today?
Hey, can you show me some sweaters to buy?
Yes, absolutely. I can help you with that. Let me see what sweaters we have available for you today. We have a few fantastic sweaters right now, like our fine China sweater, which is a beautiful knit with Chinese landscape embroidery in a ceramic blue color. It has over 7.
Nice, but do you have any sweater with more like flowers or something like that?
I totally get it. You're looking for something with a floral touch. Let me check for some lovely flower-themed sweaters for you. Okay, great news. I found a few wonderful options with floral designs. First, we have the Le Jardin sweater, which features an all-over embroidery inspired by a French garden with delicate lemon motifs.
Okay, that one looks good to me. How can I buy it?
As you can see, one of the major thing is it's a two-way interactive multimodality conversation going on. Now you're talking to a AI voice agent on a WhatsApp channel. At the same time, you're asking a specific query, or you are asking what you are expecting out of this particular channel, right? So it has started with maybe a query of can you have sweaters for me, and it has sent some of the samples of the sweaters, and now the guy said no, I want more colorful, right? The good thing is, because this is a AI voice agent, it does have all understanding of your stock, your collection, what is available, what is not available. In the millisecond itself, it can fetch the data and search the data and bring it to your user. Comparatively, whatever else, I mean, the different way over here would be that you're texting, right? You're doing some query behind the scene, and then it get back to it, right? This basically replicates the same engagement loop that we do have offline with any kind of companionship, be it either a companionship of imagining that you're talking to a salesperson in an offline store, or you're talking to a friend, right? Which basically helps you to buy something with the right set of intent or what you're looking for. And the good thing is that this is infinitely scalable channel. So at any point of time, you are handling 100 call, 1,000 call, or a million call. You don't need any kind of backup operation available behind the scene, right? It automatically scales. It automatically does have understanding, and it gets updated with all the information that is available with your brand. So let's maybe see how can we build this, right? And how can we configure this, and maybe how easy it is to build such kind of voice agent within the WhatsApp itself, right? So because the internet in my mobile is not working, I won't be able to showcase a very live demo, but I'll navigate through what is the procedure look like to build such kind of thing, right? So what do you need if you wanted to build something like this is your number one, your WhatsApp business API, right? Number two is a calling capability enable in your WhatsApp business API. And number three is like your voice agent endpoint, right? So where Videosdk basically can help on a larger extent as a platform connected with the Meta to build any kind of voice AI agents, right? So I'll go through the website of Videosdk. This is our website, and I'll go to over here. I'll click on the AI voice agents basically. So this is the SDK that we do have, where you can basically build an AI voice agent for your telephony, for your WhatsApp, for your web integrations, or even for your mobile integration, right? So this basically stays as a Omni-Channel, one single platform for an agent to carry on all the particular memories. How does this work? Is that you have all kind of platforms over here, be it your browser to your WhatsApp telephony. Your Videosdk takes care of your AI voice agent and have the communication with the user at any point of time. And it can be directly be integrated with any kind of models available, be it your Gemini to OpenAI ChatGPT real-time models to do all kind of integration. At the same time, this can have a standard integration with your existing tools. So if you're using any existing CRM, helpdesk, all bunch of tools, this can be directly integrated with that, right? To make sure that as someone else is working, they are also getting updated within the same ecosystem now. So this is a tutorial for doing the WhatsApp integration. So what you have to do is basically, first of all, you need a number enabled for the WhatsApp. Once you do that, with the platform itself, you can set any kind of inbound gateway or outbound gateway, which basically means that you can take a outbound call, 5 outbound call to one single user in a day, or infinite number of inbound calls available. Due to lack of time, I'll just maybe give you a basic understanding how to build this. You can have the right set of instructions, personality to it. You can also make sure that it does have a right configuration with the dashboard itself. You can manage this and build on top of it. Once it is done, with the single call of API, you'll be able to run through your voice AI agent and go live. This takes like that 4 to 5 hours to get it integrated and go live at the same time with the WhatsApp Business API. So that's it from my side. Thanks a lot. You've been great audience. Thanks a lot for your time.